Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing absolutely fantastic. Okay, if good day, Peter. Good morning. It would be for you, I would assume, at this point in time of the day. So, if you have any Peter, you've been listening to me babbling for a number of times before. So if there's any, I have a bit of new microphone setting, which will be Peter says all good now because I've got if I can get that on camera, got myself a pop filter and a wind, what do you call it? This one. So I got myself a stand where it moves like that, and it's actually attached to the table. Okay. And the cost of all this fun, was €34.95. I have yet to install the new microphone because I'm so used to having this one particular microphone, and however, I will. Yeah, Peter. Ooh, Peter says, "Ooh, fancy." Yeah, it's fancy. So there will be at some point there will be a new microphone, but I simply haven't had the time to install it, and I have to go and switch it. Do some switches. Tick off this current, change the new microphone to be the primary input, or the only input microphone input. So anyway, today we have, I think this is an ale style beer. I've had this before. So it's Chimay. Chimay. It's Belgian beer. Yep. 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 That's and it's dark, really dark ale, and it's strong. It's 9% alcohol. So it's not one of your average watery pilsners you get from the grocery store. Damn, so always so good. I hope all my viewers are doing fine. There are, according to my counters, I've got two on YouTube. That would be Peter and someone else, whoever that may be, and I've got one on Twitch, whoever that may be. If you feel comfortable, besides the one on the one on YouTube and the one on Twitch, in addition to the one Peter, if you wish to make yourself known, please do. Okay, without further, Peter says we have a lurker. Actually, we have two lurkers, one on YouTube and one on Twitch. Okay, so without further ado, and this is Stefan. And we have. It's a bad deal. Yes. Also fluffy, also cuddly. Okay, we actually, when it comes to cuddly things, um those well, some of my viewers may know that in the real world, I work as a nurse. I work full time as a nurse with right now I'm working in a unit which has elderly or senior citizens who are disabled, as in developmentally disabled, senior citizens. And so, my point here was that we actually had a doggo, friendly doggo we had there. Okay, let's. Where I had it somewhere, but oh, that one. Okay, I just might get that open. I could have, of course, taken this. Okay. On the stream beforehand, but it just occurred to me right now. Where do we have it? The image. Okay. Where do we have it? Sometimes I. Okay. Well, why does it? Okay. Okay. Yes, this kind of individual we had at work today. I just for the life of me, I can't remember what this little beast was called, but okay, and I think okay, let's go. Yeah, it's a doggo, really fluffy and really friendly, and got along with the elderly quite well. Okay, so the subject for today is, of course, that this is the 25th episode of History with Heidi. So I think we could go back into the memory lane. On this part I had guests, a number of them actually. I had Mr. 42 and I had Conspiracy Cats. And on Freddie Mercury video, one of them, I had also a guest. I just cannot seem to find this particular video. Okay. Oh, it's just for the love of me, can't remember when it was. Right. Okay, right. Yes, and I have the recorded episode as well from the guest. I'm so sorry, I have. I'll be right back. Okay, yes, problem solved. So let's take a look at the list. So, very first episode was Alan Turing. It's a shame that it has so very few views. It has only 12 views since May or May 21st. It's really a shame. And that's when I still had my. I think I was still at that point. It looks like I was still yeah, I was still streaming with StreamYard. And since then, I made the transition to um, Streamlabs OBS, which I am currently using now, because at the time I was kind of clueless on how to uh, use Streamlabs OBS. So for a very long time of my channel, the beginnings of my channel, I used a browser-based um, streaming platform, but using Streamlabs OBS is of course um, a whole lot cheaper. It if I want to, I'm paying a bit premium because I want to do multi streaming into several places at once, but that is just a question of vanity, really. I could do separate all these this live streaming stuff. I do on um, Twitch and YouTube at the same time. As you can see up there, you can see the counter of the viewer counter up there. You can see that it's two, that is both Twitch and YouTube. However, I do, so that's why, and I did also to Facebook at the same time for a while, but it didn't work out with Facebook. So it's just out of a question of vanity, Anyway, okay, let's go back to the. Next we have Moomins. Tove Jansson Moomins. With this one, I was also using. I think at this point, yeah. Pardon me. Yeah. It's yeah. Okay. But that's how it goes. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. And this has 33 views and just one like. A shame, really, because I really enjoyed doing this. I really enjoyed doing this this video in particular. And there we have me. You can see, of course, that I've many things have changed. I have new glasses. I have, yeah, I was still using Streamlabs. No, sorry, StreamYard, and it shows. It really shows. Shitty quality. Yes, and we already had Bertil back then, of course, because why not? Okay, so. And the lower third, it's. Oh, come on. It's way too high. It's way too high. Way too high. But hey, what do I know? And yeah, horrible. But Anyway, Tove Jansson, a Finnish, now already deceased, unfortunately. She died in 2002, I think. Mother of Moomins, like Bertil is a Moomin ancestor. Uh, One of Tuve's creations, many creations. So wonderful, so wonderful. Okay, then let's go, and we have yes, Utrecht sodomy trials of 1731 and 1730 and 1731. This was an interesting. Yes, here I have made the transition to. Here I've made the transition to actually uh, using using Streamlabs OBS. It looks, yeah, why not? Why not? And actually, it seems I at that point I had YouTube 53 followers, and I, oops, where do we, where are we? Okay, and it seems, Mr. 42 is there. That, oh, was there. All right. So, it seems that I had 53 YouTube subscribers, Twitch followers, 3, but now I have Twitch. When it comes to Twitch followers, it's Twitch followers is 4, and where where do we have it? YouTube subscribers 82. Okay, let's get. So Utrecht sodomy trials. Well, it's a case, an interesting case actually. Okay, microphone trouble. Sorry. Up. Okay, here we go. Okay, my Utrecht sodomy trials was a case of yeah, as it says, witch trials. It was similar to Salem witch trials that occurred in the U.S. If I recall, at the somewhat in the same time frame, they occurred in the U.S. The Salem witch trials around the same time frame there, but those were due to a number of different reasons. Those Salem witch trials, however, in the case of Salem witch trials, Salem witch trials, Salem witch trials. Sorry, I'm tired. Utrecht sodomy trials, yes, were cases of people accused of sodomy, which translates to modern terms. They were accused of homosexuality, which was at the time considered a sin, an illness, and a crime. Hence, it was to be punishable, in many cases, punishable by death. At the time, in Europe, in the Netherlands, but Utrecht is, for those of you who do not know, Utrecht is a city in what is now modern day the Netherlands, in the southern part of the country. Anyway, let's go. What we have. Oh, no. Let's go there. Let's go there. Okay, we have. Okay, King James V of England. But hang on. Okay, let's go. James VI of Scotland, James First of England. Uh, okay, and it's it's a shame that it's still so few views. It's only as of right now 19 views. So it's really a shame. Okay, but King James was actually in his lifetime, if I'm not completely mistaken, the King James Bible was uh, published, at least the first edition of it. I could be completely mistaken, but that is my what I as far as I can tell. Good. As you know, as you can see from these, it's always the same beanie. The warning. The warning is a Mexican rock band. Uh, they're very young but very talented. They have as far as I can tell, and the context I have is that they are the first Mexican band to have a record record what do I call it, recording deal with an American label. They are signed with Lava Records, which is a great. They just published an EP, and they are all they're very young. The youngest is, I think she's 17 now. They've published 3 studio albums and two EPs and 2 full albums and singles. So okay. Anyway, more enough about that. Anyway, King James, he was a king of England and Scotland, uh, and he had a number of male lovers, which was highly frowned upon at the time. At the time, and this would have been in early 1600s. So big thing, big deal back then. You know, to have a queer as a king. Okay, let's go then. Uh, okay, so that was it then. And then Tom of Finland, uh, or also known as Touko Laaksonen, uh, Finnish artist, uh, gay. Uh, uh, his art was and is quite uh, fetish-ish, leather fetish, etc., etc., and giant, dicks. Sailors and sailors and police officers, etc., etc., being, having huge dicks in tight leather pants, and I think I might as well just get you a glimpse. And actually, his art was uh, published in Finnish stamps, official Finnish stamps. So yeah, okay, yeah, we have this kind of stuff. These official stamps, stuff like this, official stamps. Yeah, these were official Finnish stamps, published just under 10 years, just under 10 years ago. And this is his art. What kind of stuff he was drawing, and this is Touko Laaksonen. He was quite a handsome man, I think. He was a World War II veteran of the Finnish army. So Let's take that. Okay. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, etc., etc., please ask them in the chat or after the stream in the comment section below. And check the comment section down below. I highly recommend, because there are wonderful, wonderful links. There are my playlists where you can also find this History with Heidi playlist. And you'll also find a Culture Corner, Monday News, Special Files, Friday Facts. You know, all the shizzle is down there. Like, subscribe, and grope the notification bell so you can get notifications from more such content in the future. And also a huge, huge, huge shout out to my patron Flems. You are great. Okay. That away. Oh. Okay. Yes, and there is also a link to my Patreon. My Patreon and PayPal, I've got all kinds of interesting things. I think interesting things you'll get. The higher you go, the more interesting things you get from me. For example, Q&A, regular Q&A live streams. If you go, and you can also vote on and submit video ideas and get those videos out from your topic. You get private Zoom calls, you get private Zoom calls, etc., etc. When you're a bit higher up, you can get private Zoom calls with me and others of the same tier, and you can also get a special access on my on Patreon area of my channel's Discord server. So please head there, and if you're not a member of my channel server, please head there now. Okay, maybe not now, but late after this stream, you go there, you join this channel server and my LGBT plus server. All links are down there. Okay. Then we can go. Okay, this is from Tom of Finland, and he died in early 90s of a lung disorder. And yes, I also have a PayPal account if you wish to give me a one-time donation. And yes, this doesn't exist anymore. My channel doesn't have a Facebook anymore. Okay, let's go. Okay, back. What do we have here? Okay, we have Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was a case of an Anglo-Irish playwright, writer, poet, Oscar Wilde, who was eventually in 1894 or 95. He was convicted of sodomy again. This time in accordance to the Victorian era legislation or sodomy, when it comes to sodomy, which I will come back to the sodomy legislation, the different types, a bit later in this live stream when I get a bit further. But then anyway, he the imprisonment and the hard labor ruined him, his health and otherwise, and he died a broken and sick man. In a few years later, in I think it was 1900. I think it was in 1900. He passed away uh, in Paris. A poor and a broken man, poor, broken, and sick man, and he was posthum. He received a posthumous pardon in 2017. There shouldn't. I don't. I'm not a big believer in posthumous pardons because there shouldn't be a reason in the first place. People need a pardon because they've never done anything wrong. They've never done the only thing they've anyone thinks they've done wrong is that they loved and had consensual adult sex with someone of the same sex, and that shouldn't be a reason a legendary, immensely talented writer and a poet dies a poor, sick, and disgraced man after 2 years of hard labor. That is not right. By no means that is right. So, yeah. And Alan Turing was also posthumously pardoned and given a royal, actually not just a posthumous pardon, but a royal pardon by the Queen, from the Queen. Peter says disgraced for being themselves precisely. They've been disgraced. But the people who made these laws are the ones who should be disgraced. Because they have so much blood on their hands, unfortunately, including but not limited to Oscar Wilde and Alan Turing. Alan Turing was also convicted based on the same clause of the same law as Oscar Wilde, and he died a broken man, broken, disgraced man, ripped of all the honors he had received. He was an essential. Without him, without Alan Turing, the World War II would have kept going for up to 5 years, and up to 20 million would have, according to some estimates, up to 5 years and 20 million dead had it not been for Alan Turing and a small handful of his friends, colleagues. And he was disgraced for being gay, loving the wrong sex. An absolute disgrace. And the Queen Elizabeth II was the monarch at the time, if I'm not completely mistaken. She was the queen when Alan Turing was convicted of sodomy crimes, and she was the queen who gave Alan Turing a posthumous royal pardon 50 years later. Yeah, and there you go. Peter, how much talent was lost due to bigotry? That is a very good question. Because who knows how much who knows how much uh, who knows how much of Oscar Wilde's literature we missed because he was wrongfully convicted of loving someone of the same sex. Boo Wee says there is no wrong sex. Precisely. Okay, that was Oscar Wilde. Then on then we have it, Mr. 42. Ah, Mr. 42. We have the Dutch LGBT plus history, and you do not see any. I do not have glasses in this video because my previous ones were actually disintegrated. Don't ask why. I don't know. And it took me a while to get a pair of new ones. I got two pairs of new glasses, and it was just a time. It was about time to get new glasses. Let's just say that. Okay, and then with Mr. 42, we went through parts of the Utrecht sodomy trials, and then we had a wonderful chat. In general, we had it was really interesting. We also talked about how we got the Netherlands got from the Utrecht sodomy trials to then being the first country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage, and it was really interesting. Actually, I think just curiosity. We had to record this entire thing twice. The entire thing, because what I hadn't realized until very much too late, that the audio was broken. There was zero audio on the first recording, or the first recordings of the first set of recording. You know, the bits I recorded, zero audio, and it was only when I started editing the video that I noticed that there was no audio from Mr. 42 or myself. So Peter Nuttall says, was so pissed off that I missed that live. This wasn't live. This was recorded. The entire thing was recorded. This Dutch LGBT plus history featuring Mr. 42. This was, and this is, and always was, a recording. So basically, I recorded what ended up being 42 minutes and 42 seconds of recordings, or of the total amount was that 44 minutes and 42 seconds. The entire thing was without audio, the entire thing, and I had to call him back in for another recording. So Peter, there wasn't much to miss with regards to the live stuff. This was never live. This one, it's a recording. I had something, I just cannot remember why. I think it was something that we just couldn't fit Mr. 42's schedules to my work schedules, so or something that course that to be the recording, that to be the a recorded episode. But we had the Alan Turing's personal history kind of, and then we came back to Alan Turing's science featuring conspiracy cats. There we go. There we have it. And this was also a recording because these few things that were most of the ones in July were recordings because I was on summer vacation and therefore I needed to have things recorded. And talking about this was 37 minutes and 55 seconds. This was quite short due to time constraints. This was really fun. I think this was the third video that I had with Mr. Conspiracy Cats. So yeah, I think this is number 3 because my first and second episodes on my entire channel were with Conspiracy Cats, and then this was the third. And this was a recording, and what a shame, only 6 likes. But that was all good, all jolly good fun with Conspiracy Cats. And who knows, perhaps you never know, maybe who knows if we ever will ever have collaboration. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and we have the brief history of trans part 1. And this was still this was something that Mr. 42 says, Mr. 42, I'm sorry. Peter Nuttall says guests are fun. They are indeed. Okay. And there is Peter saying, what? Peter says on that video, noise sound effects. Yes, I think this at this point it was that I got one of these stream decks that I had some fun with. Yeah, okay. Let's go. Okay, so brief history of trans. What I had here was a few videos of trans history, what I could easily do research on. So it was in three parts, I think, and then we have 2.1. There was an original version part 2, but then there was something funky going on with the audio, etc. So I had to get a bit of it chopped out, and then it was part 2, and I had no audio, so I had issues there. As usual, I had audio trouble, but beginners are as beginners are. Okay, and then there was the part 3 concluding our conclusions from what I went through, and then I had, oops, where do I have it? Okay. Then I've got the Freddie Mercury videos. And I have two Freddy videos on the History with Heidi uh, franchise, and I've got one on Culture Corner. I've got a Freddy video on Culture Corner as well. So that, and with that, in that video, I had a guest, someone if you've been following my channel long enough, you would have noticed Mr. Super Ghost UK has been in my chats, and he was a guest of mine on the Freddy on the Culture Corner side. But then here we had I went through uh, in two parts. I went and was a recorded episode again, and I don't know why I show up so close. I don't know, on the camera. Like I'm just my face slammed to the fucking camera. Okay, and then we got the part two there, and complex. Yeah, complex history of gender and sex. This was quite fun, you know. Okay, again, I've had either audio trouble or internet trouble. So I've had my fair share of uh, technical trouble, shall we say. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. And here we had the again I had internet trouble. Sorry, here I've been having plenty of issues. In this one, I look for some reason I look like I'm just splashed my face on the on the camera. I don't know. No idea why. No idea why. I wish I could tell you. But there is uh of course there's a difference between gender and sex. They aren't the same thing. Many fundamentalists wish to think that they are the two that they are the same thing. That they're the same thing. But they are in fact two very separate things. Yeah, because a social gender is a social construct, uh, and sex is the biological side, biological sex. Okay. Uh, so what is important here is to separate the two, and I've talked about the. I had the. I had one of these premiere Thursday videos the other week called Fuck Gender Binary. So I pointed out that also it's not completely alien idea to view the thing also the biological to view biological sex also as a gender, as a social construct in the same way as gender is viewed as a social construct. Both of these have been especially the one, especially the idea that uh, also biological sex is a social construct. It is from a sociologist and a gender theorist, Judith Butler. I've talked about her, but that is a separate story. That's on another list. She's on the culture corner list. The video, and I may or may not go through that at some point. Um, because that's really, really fun. But that's something different. Okay. And then the. How do I. Yes, I think. Why do. Okay, be right back. Yes, okay. I was just because I have a video that wouldn't make sense if I did mention that one. Okay, and now we have what we have here. Next on History with Heidi episode on the list is that part 2 of a video that of which the part 1 was a Sunday special episode. Now it's called Intersex Finn's honorary burial 900 years ago. What is this? What the hell's going on, Heidi? Why is it part 2? Okay, and what's going on? Okay, they found this has to do with the social constructivism of gender and sex. There was a burial site found or a grave of a person whose burial date was carbon dated to about 900 years ago. So the turn of I think the 10th. Hang on. When I said English is, I think it was in between 1040 and 1135 or something like this. What that was dated to. But first they thought it was a woman with a sword for decades, because we typically we want to think of the gender of the person found if it's an ancient grave, such as from the Middle Ages. We typically it's thought it's gendered. The person is gendered by the grave goods that are found with the remains. So in this case, because this remains were found with a sword, it was automatically for decades thought to be a man, because typically, of course, we know legends of female warriors, but they are typically drowned among dozens and dozens of stories of male warriors of the same era. But this was found in 1968, and this study was done by the Finnish National Museum of and the archaeologists at the university, and because these remains were also found with clothing and jewelry, especially jewelry, the jewelry that it was and is still connected to women, and of course men had jewelry and still have today, but these types of jewelry this person was buried with were typically associated with women and feminine characters uh, of that time period of that time period. Uh, so they reanalyze and they I haven't found an expert to talk about this on my channel yet, but they they took samples of they analyzed the ancient DNA sample taken from the remains, and guess what? It didn't show up typical male or female. It didn't show XX or XY. It showed XXY, which is an intersex condition called Klinefelter syndrome. Person is born the assigned male at birth, but later on during and after puberty develop female characteristics, are often infertile, etc. So it seems that at the time of the culture of that area of the time, uh, uh, intersex people were included in the society and well respected, um, because the grave goods were so plentiful. What they found, jewelry and the clothing was really expensive, etc., etc. So in Klinefelter people are usually typically atypical for a typical male. So it would have been this person would have been clearly intersex. So what that was about. Okay, and history of transgender movement. Okay, and here we are with the new. Okay, new. And here are the links. Okay, and I've got the new music and the intro page there that I use now. And by the way, I'm really it's a really shame that there's only 12 views on the part 2 of the intersex burial, and it's a shame that the part 1 has about the same amount. It's really a shame, I think, because I really enjoyed doing that and the part 1. But if people don't wanna, people don't wanna. Okay, and then we got history of transgender rights movement. This starts from um, early 20th, late 1900, late 1800s, early 1900s. This history of it, at least in the Western world. Marsha P. Johnson wasn't. She is unfortunately. She has passed already, and this has only 15 views. It's really a shame. Because she deserves more. She deserves much more. Yeah, she was a transvestite and gay human rights activist, identified as what would now be called transgender woman. Lived most of her life on the most of her adult life on the street, but did so much more good than any wealthy person can. to help other queer people. Ah, by the way, I think I might have lost a subscriber. I have lost a subscriber during this live stream. Wow, people hate me so much. Do people really hate me that much? Fuck you. Fuck you. No idea who that is. I had 82 subscribers when I started this live show, but now I have 81. So whoever unsubscribed, fuck you. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry for my language. Okay. Same history of same-sex marriage. Let's have a look. 16 views. That's much better. Much better. Yeah. And this was this is the intro for the premiere Thursday episode. So, or the premiere Thursday thing. There's been an updated one. I mean, is this live stream so fucking boring that you have to unsubscribe? Sorry. We have Magnus Hirschfeld. Magnus was a German doctor, an MD, a sexologist, and he performed. And this is only 12 views. It's quite a shame, but you know. Oh, and are you kidding me? We have 4 viewers on YouTube. Oh my. If you well, 3. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Magnus Hirschfeld was as I said, a German sexologist and an MD. He performed the very first known gender reassignment surgeries in the world in 1920s and early 1930s in more like in 1931 was the last one he performed before the before the Third Reich took over, and Hirschfeld was the Jew, so I'm not sure what happened to him. I probably said it in the stream, but I can't remember anymore. I can't remember everything. And yeah, we have then the gender studies, history of gender studies. We've got Judith Butler, of whom I already talked about. We've got Christine Jurgensen, the first publicized gender reassignment process, surgeries, etc., etc., in the US. And by extension, the first in the world to be that well known for all that. But that's how it goes sometimes. Okay, Anne Lister, landowner and lesbian. Yeah, she's been called the first modern lesbian. She left plenty of diaries. She had sort of her own secret code she developed, and it wasn't decoded until I think it was the turn of the century. end of 1800s. If not even it took almost 100 years before the last of her uh, code to be decoded, and she wasn't even a professional. Okay, and we got Oscar Wilde bookshop. There was a in Greenwich Village, New York, New York City, New York in the U.S. There's a book named after Oscar Wilde, and it went. Oh, Arthur Weber, how are you, darling? How are you, darling? Long time no ABC. It wasn't you who unsubscribed, was it? I hope. I just lost because I just lost a subscriber during this stream. Arthur, darling. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh my. The subscriber. Oh. Oh my. Oh. I need to definitely check that one afterwards. After this stream, I cannot do it right now. Arthur Weber says, I'm great. Nope, of course not. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, it's clearly someone doesn't appreciate when I do streams like this. Hmm? Unless there's, I don't know. All right, fair enough. Too bad. Okay, and it was closed. The Oscar Wilde bookshop was closed in early 2000s. Because due to the Great Depression of '07 to '09, too much competition with the online bookstores and the financial down, etc., etc. Now we have queer history of Finland. Why Finland? Well, Finland because I am from Finland and I live in Finland, and it's an interesting one. We had, as I said, we have Mumi, the Tove Jansson. We've got uh, Tom of Finland, etc., etc. So all kinds of interesting things. And now the 25th episode special. Go there. Okay, we have free watching on YouTube, which is wonderful. Okay, now there will be a number of changes um, on my channel in the future, but what I've planned I have plans on a number of changes on my channel, but what I am sure of is that there will be a new Friday show. Heidi, Arthur, and who's the third? Tony Morris, probably. Mwahaha. Uh, my I don't show up on the counter because I'm not. I don't have anything on. I don't have it open on YouTube. I don't have the YouTube live stream open. The only thing I have is the chat on Streamlabs. So it's probably you, Peter Not. It's you, Peter Nottle, and I have a guess who the third one is, but I'll keep my mouth shut. Uh, okay, but hey, Arthur Weber, you you can stick Tony Morris up your ass. Sorry. Uh, Peace and Otto, I'm always here. Yes, yes, you are. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate Peter being always there for me. Uh, Even when no one else is, Peter is always there. Okay, so what was I about to say? First, another shout out to my patron Flems. Check the Patreon, PayPal, etc. All the links, the playlists. You can find every single History with Heidi episode. Checking the links in the description box and other links. And please check also my Patreon, PayPal, Patreon playlists, YouTube playlists. Check my Twitch. I stream to Twitch. You know, when I do gaming, I stream. To Twitch, at least when I play Lara Croft's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. When I play that, I stream it to YouTube. That's Twitch. Okay, and then you've got my email address there. You've got my Discord servers, my channel Hades Corner, and my LGBT plus safe space server, where Peter is also a moderator. He's got the Spanner on YouTube, and he's got the Spanner on Discord. So, and I think I have on my channel, on my servers, I have all kinds of invitation links to other servers. So go check that out if you haven't already. Anyway, for the future, what I will disclose at this point in time, that there will be a new Friday show. The history. Peter, are you calling me a spanner? No, I'm not calling you a spanner. You just. And even if I did, I would do it with the most big amounts of love I could. It's a derogatory statement in Aussie lingo. I know. I am aware of that. I do apologize. Okay. By a spanner, what I was meaning to say is the wrench you've got there. The blue wrench you got there. So, broken communication. My apologies. Anyway, the Friday show, there will be a new Friday show. History with Heidi will go out of the room, and in comes a new Friday show next week. Peter says, no apology necessary. Wonderful. Okay, so new Friday show coming up next week Friday. Completely new thing starting next Friday. YouTube, Twitch, same time, 9 p.m. UK on Fridays. But new things. More about that on Monday. I will inform you further on Monday. On the Monday episode of Culture Corner, you will get more information then. Now, without further ado, I think it's the time to go for today. And perhaps we shall continue the conversation on Discord and on other platforms, perhaps. I do not know. But until and before we go, we need to Bertil. It's Stefan. Okay. Now. It's my time to say good morning, good day, good evening, and good night. I'll see you on Monday.